Welcome to the Vida Soul Session. I am Reverend Keven Kadel. Vida Soul Sessions are mini metaphysical messages and metaphysical science experiments for you to try. This episode, I cover the second side of a metaphysical coin called in but not fitting. If you're anything like me, at times I get this realization that this is not for me anymore. I've joined something or someone or some activity, and it's not for me. It could be a certain group of friends or with a group of coworkers. It could be an activity that no longer feels right. What's going on? Well, sometimes circumstances and conditions change. Could be a global pandemic. Could be someone leaves the group. Could be somebody joins the group. Who knows? Some things change. Circumstances and conditions sometimes change. Sometimes it is intuition. Though this feels good, there is something better. There's a subtle sense that my good is expanding beyond whatever this circle is that I once perceived. It might be I catch a vision of the next phase of my spiritual journey. Usually in but fitting means some aspect of my consciousness has healed and grown. While this group or organization or job or activity once served me well, I realize it no longer serves. In but not fitting is sometimes a call to release something from one's life for the better. It could be releasing a habit or a pattern or a belief. It could be releasing a person or a place or a thing. My life is better when I'm surrounded by love-minded folks, when I'm in a desirable environment, and when I'm doing something that feels good. And the folks and the environment and the activity, those are all constantly changing. If you tend toward positivity, these changes tend toward a better life. It's worth remembering spiritually, there is one organizing principle with many versions, renditions, and dimensions. All life is connected on the unseen side of this one larger life. The seen and the unseen are facets and phases of living spirit. All forms of life, be it animal, plant, or mineral, are patterns and organizations of the one life, which some call God, or higher power, or the force, or universal love, or divine mind, or infinite intelligence. Like that, you get the idea. In but not fitting is an awareness that begins in mind. In the science of mind and spirit, mind doesn't mean brain or even central nervous system. No, mind is a much bigger umbrella that includes your thoughts, your feelings, your intuitions. Mind includes both conscious thoughts and unconscious thoughts like habits, patterns, and beliefs. The sensation that something no longer fits means something is shifting in mind. It means that some thoughts, those habits, patterns, beliefs, some feelings, those intuitions are coming up for review, to be revised, maybe to be released, or maybe to be replaced. The sensation to move out, to move on, it may not always feel uncomfortable. Sometimes it feels good. It feels like the right thing. And in those cases, you're answering a call to expand, to grow, to be more loving, more joyous, more peaceful, and more compassionate. You do this for yourself and for all the lives that your life touches. I've recently had a few of these in but not fitting awarenesses. My reactions ranged from uh-oh to what now? This again? Like most reactions, they're not all that productive, but the reactions did get my attention. And once the reaction to in but not fitting got my attention, I've learned now to pause, to allow for the reaction to flow through, and then allow for a conscious and compassionate response. Conscious and compassionate response means discovering the spiritual principles and applying those spiritual principles in spiritual practice, in this case to my awareness of in but not fitting. So with the intention to grow through what you go through, Try this metaphysical science experiment on yourself over the coming days and weeks. This comes to me by way of the late, great Reverend Matt Comp, which he called the little Buddha exercise. And I've used this recently with my in but not fitting awareness. Imagine you have a higher self, a deeper self, a wiser self within you. And we call that higher self or that wiser self the little Buddha. And that little Buddha is kindly asking you some questions. I encourage you to handwrite this, meaning handwrite the little Buddha's questions and then handwrite your answers. But you might choose to text yourself questions and answers or email yourself questions and answers. I don't know, you might even video yourself. I have found that handwriting is the most effective. Remember, this is just for you. It is for your healing and growing consciousness. You can be completely open, honest, and secure in the knowledge that this is just for you and doesn't need to be shared with anyone. Here's how the exercise begins with the little Buddha asking a question. The little Buddha might say, what about this feeling that you're having around fill in your life circumstance here that no longer fits? The in but not fitting. What about this feeling? And your answer might be, I don't know, I was in a meeting at work and just felt like I no longer belong there. And then you'd write that answer down and then you'd read that answer and then ponder it for a moment and then turn to your higher self, turn to your little Buddha and see what question your little Buddha has for you next. The little Buddha might say something like, did you feel like you belong somewhere else? And again, you would write your answer and read your answer and ponder it a minute. And then based on your answer, write out the next question from your little Buddha and just continue to repeat that cycle and keep doing this particular little Buddha session until you feel better, until you feel different. So try this little Buddha exercise when and as that in but not fitting, or really any kind of change or shift in thinking is occurring to you. Bless and release anything that no longer serves. Retain and affirm anything positive or constructive. Notice after a few sessions with the little Buddha, these feelings of clarity, of wisdom, of freedom, of love, of peace and joy and compassion, these things start to well up for yourself, and perhaps these feelings start to touch those that your life touches. Let me know your comments, questions, and suggestions in the chat. Know that your insights often help others on their journey of awakening consciousness. I know and trust you are lovable, loved, and loving. Until next time, farewell. Thanks for viewing Vida Soul Session. Please use the links in the description to request prayer, to donate to Vida Spiritual Learning Center, and to join the Vida mail list. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And for more information, visit our website at vidaslc.org.